Hello, welcome or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz and I will be guiding you on this journey today. I keep feeling called to make a little intro. I don't know, like it kind of almost feels like setting expectations. I'm not even, honestly, it keeps like cycling through my brain though to do it. And I feel like that alone is reason enough, to listen to it. So I'm not going to take any cards. I'm just going to shuffle and I'm just going to blab for a second. I'm not going to take any cards that come out though, because this is going to be the intro for all 24 readings that I do, because I cannot repeat myself that many times. Like I will legitimately implode. So, tarot for me has always been a way of organizing my thoughts and feelings. When I first got into tarot myself, like some big life things happened. And I needed to organize my thoughts. I needed to organize my feelings, and which is very Virgo moon of me with my Cancer rising, right? It's like, that the over analyzing, write everything down. And literally that's what I did. I had a whole notebook, and I had a page dedicated to every single tarot card. And I went through every tarot deck I had at the time and I wrote down the keywords. I was watching tarot videos on YouTube myself. And anytime somebody would say something about a specific card that resonated with me or was like, ooh, that's actually a really cool perspective or way of like understanding that card or combination of cards. And I would write it down in my little notebook. And then I kind of expanded from there and started giving friends and family tarot readings. But anyway, all of that is to say, right? Like I'm not psychic. I'm not claiming to be psychic. I do know these cards and I trust the cards that come out. I trust the order that they do. I trust the message that is being given to me. So funny. There's the Queen of Swords. And also, that's why I explain each card, because it's definitely part of my own processing, but also giving you information on the cards so that you can use your own discernment. You can check in with your own intuition, because we all have it. And maybe I'm not saying what is coming through for you about a specific card, but that is very much a message for you to honor. So definitely pay attention to that, right? Like definitely pay attention to any type of whispers, feelings, just things that are dropping into your consciousness as you are watching these readings, because no doubt that is a message for you. I'm more than likely not predicting necessarily anything for you. I am probably confirming what you already know to be true in your situation. But also that is very important, right? Because, if you have confirmation that, again, right, like your thoughts, your feelings, the experience, the circumstance that you're going through right now is actually what is going on, then it almost like frees up the energy. It frees up some mind space, some consciousness, almost even like opens your receptors to what's next. Like, okay, that is true. I don't have to necessarily focus on that so much anymore and kind of, spin my wheels on that. But yeah, so again, right? I mean, I may not be predicting anything for you. It's interesting because like, I don't necessarily think that's like my purpose right now, but at the same time, like I do feel like that's changing a little bit for me. And I'm keeping my receptors open, right? Like I'm welcoming the energy however it is going to change, if it does. who knows? So yeah, like I said, you know, I'm here to confirm things. I mean, who knows? Possibly predict shit. But where I thought there was, okay. Like I thought there I saw a card that was turned over. And ultimately allow energy to flow. So anyway, I think that is all that I want to say. For the time being, I can't tell you. I have no clue if I'm going to repeat something similar in the next series of videos. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, it's interesting. We'll see what happens. You know, we go where the energy takes us as long as it feels good. And it did. So we did it. And with that, we're going to get into the readings. Also, before we both forget, hit that subscribe button. Just go ahead and do it. Hit the like button. Leave a comment would be cool too. But yeah, okay. With that being said, let's get into the readings. Aries. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, Aries. Happy, like, official, you know, like, new year. I believe, is it the spring equinox? Is that what it is? That is, like, kind of technically the beginning of the year. That's why they're like, don't even worry about New Year's resolutions until March because, yeah, like, it's still winter, right? We're still supposed to be chilling. So, happy birthday, happy new year, happy all the things. And again, I don't really have a plan for the spread, actually. So kind of like last time, we're just going to shuffle the cards and just kind of see what comes out for Aries, wherever Aries is in your chart. Also, I know, like, Neptune is moving into Aries on the 30th. We have that last eclipse in Aries on, I think, the 29th. Like, talk about, is that like actually the weekend? Because do we leave the house or it is, it's Saturday and Sunday. Holy cow. I mean, look, I don't know. I don't think it's, you know, I mean, it's nothing to, like, obviously worry about, of course, you know, but like, Neptune changing signs. It's been in Pisces for, what is it, like 14 years or something like that. It'll be in Aries for 13 years, 13 or 14. I want to say until 2038. And then, of course, the last eclipse in Aries for, I don't know how long, a while. I know what, the nodes are in a sign for 18 months. So, I mean, the North Node isn't going to be back in Aries until a while. I can't do that math. I'm like, it's at least 18 years. I know it's more than that, but so yeah, you know, powerhouse weekend. We have Venus in retrograde, Mercury in retrograde, right? Like around all that shit too. So big energies, you know, just take care of yourself, of course. Don't take anything personal. Get clear on a vision. Can we get some cards for Aries? All right, we'll take all that. I feel like going this way first. We have the Seven of Cups, the Eight of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, sorry. The Moon, Nine of Pentacles, Temperance. Let me see if I can, like, fit all these in here. I do, like, feel like keeping them in a line like this too. Like, usually I'd, like, maybe stack them, but I don't think so. Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck. The Emperor. Three of Wands. Ooh. It's like new directions. Let me just make sure everything is in frame here before I start talking. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like new directions here. But it feels more like curiosity, which is great, dude. Like, truly allow yourself to be led by curiosity. I love that, honestly. Like I like feel so excited all of a sudden, like as soon as I started talking about curiosity, because here's the thing with curiosity, right? I feel like there this is how it's coming through to me. Like there's no commitment. Not that there's like commitment issues by any means, like that's not it, but it's just like, you know what? I am like curious about this thing. And then, you follow it, you explore it, you whatever, right? You try it. And then you're like, okay. I mean, that was cool, but now I'm curious about this other thing. Right? Like I mean, maybe it is like a time literally to not necessarily commit to like one thing. Um it's like it's more about being exploratory. Because also too, I think by doing that, you are going to end up finding your thing, whatever the thing is. And I also feel like the thing is probably not going to be the thing you thought it was. Like there's going to be some things about yourself that you learn, or that you're like, wow, I honestly never thought that I would actually have an interest in that, or that I would actually spend that amount of time or that amount of focus or that amount of whatever, like invested in a thing. And truly it's just curiosity. It's almost like side eye, right? It's kind of like you're having a conversation, but like something over here like kind of keeps grabbing your attention, and you're like, I'm kind of curious about that. I mean, maybe it's a person. This doesn't, I don't know. All of a sudden I got this image in my head of like being at a bar or something. I don't know. But I mean, truly, right? In all aspects of your life, even if it does have to do with dating, but work-wise, hobbies, friends, groups, interests, speaking, even just how you communicate, how you dress, right? Like how you express yourself. I mean, literally, whatever comes up for you. Because I feel like it's kind of like one of those things where it is just going to be kind of put in front of your face. Like, oh, what is this? Right? Like, and in my little intro, if you watched it, if you didn't, that's fine too. But, we go where the energy takes us as long as it feels good. Truly, it's kind of like the Marie Kondo effect a little bit, in the sense of, I mean, truly, right? Like, if it does feel good, regardless of if it's, logical, whatever, right? I mean, this really is like, really almost, it feels like being led by like solar plexus. Like I keep seeing yellow when I close my eyes. So yeah, right? Again, sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought for a second because I was like, yellow. That one song, who is it? And it was all yellow. Coldplay? Yellow used to be my favorite color. I mean, for literally half of my life. It's my favorite color. I mean, it still is. I'm just not as obsessed with it as I used to be. I've moved on to green. But anyway, and it's interesting that they're actually kind of right next to each other, right? Like chakra wise, yellow and green. Anyway, okay. So if it feels good, if it is exciting, because also too, like you have no idea like how long it's going to actually last, right? Like I said, like it doesn't really feel like there's any type of commitment, obligation, whatever, right? It's just literally by following the things that feel good, it is eventually going to get you to exactly where you want to be, wherever that is. And I honestly, even kind of, like I said, I feel like it's going to be a place, a feeling, a whatever that you don't expect. Because it also feels like there's finding something within yourself. Like we have this cat here, and when they look at their reflection, there's this panther, right? Like I also love how the Eight of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles are on either side of the Moon card. So we have this progression here. We have 2 8s. We have 7, 8, 9 also. And, you know, it's interesting because like the Seven of Cups, the Eight of Wands, like the Seven of Cups is about options. That's why I was going on this whole spiel about, you know, different, it could be different areas of your life, different aspects, different whatever. Because there's all these different options that are being shown to her, right? And she's like, you know, which one do I choose? Well, you prioritize the thing that feels good and you stick a pin in the other things. And you come back to them. I mean, no doubt you would wind up back at the next thing anyway. But again, you know, like with the Eight of Wands, there's this tornado going on here. There's these 8 wands in the air. I mean, she looks a little stressed, but also like she's handling it. It could feel like a whirlwind. It could honestly shake up a lot of things, but not in none of these cards are bad. And honestly, I mean, a shakeup at the right time is like such a refreshing thing anyway. And anytime I also see a tornado, I always think of that. You know, when you see, have you seen that meme or whatever? There's 2 images of a spiral. And it says, you know, on one side, it's the 2D version of a spiral. So you see it almost kind of like from the top, right? And then the other one is more of a, not necessarily a tornado, but I don't know what, like a sphere or something. And it says, don't spiral, evolve. That's what this Eight of Wands feels like, evolution. It could even be, right? I mean, seeing these different aspects of your life in a different way, organizing them different, prioritizing them differently. But also, like I said, there's these 8 wands that are in the air. And regardless of how, you know, this person maybe feels about it, they do still have control of these wands. It's also too, like I kind of get that image in my head of like spinning plates. It can definitely feel overwhelming, but also it's almost kind of like a fun challenge. And of course, right, it's all about like perspective. It's, you know, definitely too like the things that you are prioritizing. And even if it does feel overwhelming, right? Because I'm like looking at these 3 cards here. Even if it does start to feel overwhelming. Again, because with the Eight of Pentacles, it feels like focusing on one thing until they master it. It's, you know, dedicating your time, your resources, your energy, your presence, materials, right? Like in order to master a thing, putting in the work, repetition, muscle memory, being able to recreate something in order to like, right, like reproduce it. You know, like I said, I mean, it really could be, I mean, truly finding your niche, finding your thing. And maybe it does involve work. Maybe it does involve health, right? I mean, even Pentacles have to do with our body, where we live, tangible things, monetary, the things too that we place worth and value on. So it doesn't just have to be work, but what do you value in your life, right? Like, where do you spend the majority of your energy? Is it like spending it on things that don't matter to you? But again, obligation, responsibility, adulting, right? Which I'm certainly not taking that away. But also, like, if you can just tweak your focus and truly, like, the energy is available for you to do that. So rest up, whatever you need to do. I don't even think you need rest. I don't know. If you do, of course, please take it. But it almost kind of feels like admitting it to yourself or going for it, or right, because we have this cat looking at the reflection, which is a panther. It's like truly, seeing yourself as the panther. It's like, seeing yourself as the predator and not the prey. And it's literally a shift in your feeling. Even to like heart chakra, just like changing the vibe, changing the frequency of it. And literally it is that easy to be like, I'm a fucking panther, bitch. And too, because it is the moon, it is, illusions, things that are hidden. It's our subconscious too. So there could even just be like working through some stories in there. Like I said, right, there's that eclipse, the solar eclipse on Saturday. And hello, we have the moon card here. This is Cancer. Mars is in Cancer, which is interesting because, right, like Mars or Aries, or Mars in Aries, right? The ruling planet of Aries is Mars. The only fire card we have out here is Temperance, which is, no, I'm sorry. We have Wands out here too. Sagittarius. But 9 of Pentacles, independence, financial freedom, self-care. It feels like very leisurely, right? I mean, she's like reading a book under this tree. There's, some wine and snacks there. It's like, putting in the work here so that you can get here. And truly, the only thing here in the middle is changing your gut. I mean, I want to say your mind, but, obviously I know that perspective like comes from your mind too. But I really believe that you have to feel this in your body. Like from your feet up, like your brain is like the last thing for whatever reason. From your feet up, embody that shit, right? Temperance, things coming together. This is a blending of water and fire. Alchemy. Also, balance too. But we can see that she's doing yoga here, and then there's these cupcakes behind her. But then over here, we've got some vegetables and some water. There's a martini glass here, like balance. Even too, like allowing yourself to enjoy multiple things. Like through this process, maybe that's where you get to, is a balance. Even with the like spinning plates thing, right? I mean, like you have to like focus on one at a time to get them going, right? And then you have to like kind of go back and spin them one by one, right? But then there comes a point where they're all going at the same time. Even if it is like, just for a couple seconds, right? Like, it's interesting. Patience, right? It's like allowing things to come together. Even too with yoga, they call yoga a practice, right? Because there is no such thing as perfection in yoga. It's a practice. You're showing up to practice, right? And you're not even necessarily practicing to be perfect. And maybe too, that's a lesson that's happening in these first 3 cards. Like if there is like a perfectionism thing happening, has happened, has been happening, whatever, it may be a bit of like loosening your grip on that. And just learning how to spin those plates. I don't know why like plate spinning is like coming to mind so much. I hope that this has made sense. And also just to mention, the Page of Wands, the Emperor, 3 of Wands. This is kind of like what started me on the whole curiosity thing, because this Page of Wands, this cat is like, hey, there's this path over here. And they're like, oh, Okay. The Emperor is like mapping the sky too. I mean, it could be, I mean, truly forging a new thing. I was going to say a new map, but that doesn't necessarily like really make sense. Not to mention, you know, I mean, transits coming up. It's almost too, it's like this is divine timing. This is the Aries card too, actually. Duh. Like it took me that long to figure that out. The Three of Wands. Again, trying shit. Being curious. They have 3 wands available. They're only using one. There's still 2 on their belt there. Try things. See how it goes. Right? And if it's not working, if the feeling changes, move on to the next thing that you're curious about, that you're excited about. Truly, like there's no point in wasting energy in a place, in a situation, in a thing that truly there's no energy available for you there anymore. I love it. I'm leaving it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.